Arthur again, and today we have my 2013 BMW X5 35i. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing and watching some of my other videos as well. I have a lot of videos on different cars and interesting Hello, this is Arthur again, and today we have my 2013 BMW X5 35i. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing and watching some of my other videos as well. I have a lot of videos on interesting cars and different repairs that will really help out my channel grow. As far as the car goes, I've had this car for about 4 years, about 75,000 miles. I have done few other videos on this car before, so if you're familiar with my channel, you've probably seen it. Today what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys around it real quick, and we're gonna take it for a drive down the canyon, and we're gonna measure the 0-60 time. I have a race box timer, and I'm pretty excited to see how it does. To me, this car, it runs really good, as new basically, and I've had other X5s over with similar drivetrain, and this one I think it drives probably the best one. So I'm excited to see how it does. Okay, as I mentioned, this car is 145,000 miles. Still looks really good. I've done few things on it. I did replace the lenses about a year ago. They were starting to fade. I removed them and I put new lenses on it, and they've been looking great. That one made a huge update. I did put some new OEM wheels on it. I had the same wheels before, but they're looking a little worn, so these look like new and they look great. This car has a nice color combination and does have a lot of nice options. I do have a M Sport steering wheel on it, which I bought new from a dealer. It does have soft closed doors, which are excellent feature. Doesn't have comfort seats, but it does have sport seats. This car doesn't really have any modifications other than it has H&R lowering springs on it, and as well as Bilstein B8 shocks all around, which are pretty sporty, sometimes a little too sporty. On the freeway, if there's few people inside, it can be a little bit uncomfortable when driving. It's not bad, but it does move, kind of bounce off sometimes if it's loaded. If one or two people, it drives really nicely. Okay, let's go to the canyon. All right, here we are down the canyon. This canyon is about, I would say, 15 minutes away from my house. It's a nice, about 12-mile long canyon with some offshoots on the sides to different smaller communities with nice roads actually. And there's also some off-roading trails as well. You can go up these mountains around here. I've taken those roads many times with my old X5. This one not so much because it's lowered. I did take a few times before. I do have a set of KO2s I put on it, and I do go on trails, although not anything too hard because of the car being lowered. Although it does handle very well. The all-wheel drive system works great on these. I do have the race box connected. There's a fairly flat part of this road. I'm going to try to see if I can do a couple of runs there. And as far as the driving goes, this car is very smooth. It's fairly quiet for a SUV. The steering feel is great. It's pretty heavy. If you have driven other X5s, newer ones, you know they have a very light steering, and this E70 has very heavy steering. I mean, compared to other modern cars, and it doesn't feel very artificial because it's hydraulically assisted. It feels very nice and smooth, and you can actually feel what's going on in the road. I really enjoy that part about this car. One of the options this one has is the pedals on a steering wheel, which a lot of them tend not to have, and it does make for a better driving experience. There is a lot of people over here today. It's Sunday morning, so it looks like I wasn't the only one who had a similar idea to go driving on a canyon. I'm gonna pull over a little bit, let those cars go, so I can have a little more fun. As far as the transmission goes on these, it does have the 8-speed ZF, which is just, they did an amazing job with this transmission compared to the previous generation transmission that came in this body style, the 6-speed ZF. These are so much better. It's even on regular mode, whenever you're driving, it's not trying to upshift to the last gear like right away. If you don't even feel like you need to put it in sport, because usually it will be in the right gear. Whenever you feel like it, if you step on the gas a little bit, right away it'll be wherever you want it to be. Especially with the turbo engine, it feels nice and torquey. With the previous generation engine that came in these, the 3.0 SI, I had that one. That car would really struggle on the highway, or whenever you feel like driving a little bit quicker, it just didn't have enough power for the weight. This car is pretty heavy, around almost 5,000 pounds, and the way the 6-speed was set up in those, you would just, whenever you're pushing it, it just feels laggy. You have to go in a sport mode to be able to get some kind of performance out of it, and it was lagging for the weight, and this turbo engine really fixed it for these cars. And I don't even feel like you need a V8 version to experience decent dynamics. This car moved a little bit, so just light throttle input. Does pick up nicely, and whenever you lift off, you do get this slightly turbo noise. If you blow valve a little bit, you can hear the little whistles to remind you that it's a turbo car, but it's not excessive. It's just at certain times whenever you're in it and then you lift off, you get this like nice turbo noise. It's definitely a lot of cars today. It's 78 degrees. It is a nice day, so can't blame people for trying to come out and enjoy the drive. So as far as the race box goes, I have used it on my Jaguar before. I did do a video, I don't know if you've seen it or no, but I'll link it down below if you guys are interested. It's my other car, and it works whenever you stop, and as soon as you take off, it'll start recording, and it will record 0-60 miles an hour, 0-100 kilometers an hour, and 400 meters and quarter mile as well. We won't have enough room to do a quarter mile run over here, of course, because it's a public road, but 0-60 we should be able to do, because there's more than enough speed limit over here to do that. And this car's stock did about 6 seconds, 6.2 or so, something like that, 6.3 depending what, sometimes even 6.7, depending which magazine you looked at or which test you looked at, basically. But often it's around like low 6 seconds. Alright, as far as for the run, I'm gonna try to go, I'll do a sport mode and I'll do sport mode and transmission. I'll turn off the AC, and I will try to brake torque it a little bit, see if that will help. Okay, the road is fairly flat over here. I'm gonna come to stop. There's no cars around, so I'm gonna brake torque it. .13 seconds, 0-60. Pretty good. I'm gonna try to go the other way too, if it's a little downhill or uphill, so adjust for it. Pretty good for a 145,000 mile car. Try another run right here. A little bit slightly slower, but I would say 6.2 on average. Fairly good result. We can turn our AC back on. It's funny because on the same road in a Jaguar I had a better time going that direction than coming back. This one the other way around. I think because of I had more wheel spin in a Jag than this one. It's hard to hear the exhaust, but whenever you do like a upshift around 5,000 RPM or so with being on the gas, it does do some bleeping noises. It's not tuned or anything, but you do get some burble basically. I know most people are trying to get that nowadays. I don't really like that much, but this one does very little, so it does sound good. It's not over, like it's not trying to do too much. There is some elevation in here as well, so they might contribute to the acceleration. Not too much elevation. I believe it's like about 800 feet or so, but it's not exactly at the sea level. Almost. I really love the steering wheel, the one that came in M Sport. I updated mine last year, and it's so nice and soft. The leather is Napa leather. It made a huge difference in driving experience. I'm gonna turn around, and there is a nice little canyon offshoot over here. I'll take that road back up. You guys can see it's a nice little switchback road. Here with my E30 often. I'm planning on doing a similar video with my E30 as well. I have a 1990 325i. I don't think it's that quick or anything, but I just want to see where it's at. It is stock, it is manual. I will do it next week or so. It's a nice little canyon over here. I'm lucky to have nice roads like this around me. Whenever I have time, I try to come around here, just enjoy the drive. And the good thing with this car is, like, even it's SUV, you still can have a nice, fun ride down the canyon. It's enjoyable. It's not I've driven a lot of SUVs before we went into X5, and to be honest, I didn't like none of them. None of them drive well, that to my liking, at least. This one is sharp, it has nice power, it's great brakes. It's fairly reliable as far as BMWs go. It's probably one of the best ones, if you take care of it. It has great room for kids and stuff. You can still put things in the trunk if you're taking trips. It's fairly good on gas. You can get 20-21 miles per gallon if you're on the highway. So I would really recommend one of these if you know how to work on them, or if you have somebody that is gonna work on them for not dealership prices and they'll maintain it properly for you. I would definitely get in one of these over a lot of other SUVs. And one of the best features of this body style, or all X5s that are very rare in any SUV really, is the clamshell type of trunk that you have a tailgate and you can sit on it. You can, I think it takes up to 600 pounds of weight, and you can tailgate from it pretty much. You can just sit and chill, and it's very, very useful. Even if I replace this car with another car in the future, it must have that feature. It's so useful and so nice, especially if you go somewhere with kids. Does pick up nicely. It sounds good too. I like how this N55 sound. They have a great sound to them. Let's try if we can do one more run. Uphill here. 6.4 seconds. So it's pretty steady. Basically, you get a low 6 seconds range, which is pretty good for a 11-year-old 5,000-pound SUV. I think it does really great. I'm pretty sure BMW underrates the powers of these cars from the factory. It's 300 horsepower, but 300 pound-feet of torque, but I'm pretty sure it's a little more. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'm going to try to make more videos similar soon. I'm going to do one on my E30 like I mentioned. And as far as overall results go, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It's pretty much where the factory time is, so that makes me believe that the car is running great. There's no issues with it, and I'm pretty happy about it. So anyway, please comment, like and subscribe. There are more videos to come.